So, last time we was having this conversation about nationality identification cards, and
Yes. Yes.
I told you that when we get a chance, I want to do a segment about that. So,
Yeah.
I had a couple questions I want to ask you. First question was, when you first obtained your nationality card, how did you feel?
Well, the first nationality identification card that I had was the one that I put together myself, and
Okay.
where I got that from is that I started to study just the subject matter of identification cards themselves, national identification cards. I started looking them up. I started, Googling them, looking at images. I tried to find as many, there's a lot of different Moorish American identification cards out there. But, one of the main things that gave me the idea is that I was listening to one of those lectures with Tashri Bey.
Right.
And he was not saying like make your own identification card. That's not what he was saying. But he was just explaining like we are our own people.
Correct.
So we have to make our own ID. It should not come from anybody else. But not as much as that, as much as the part that got me is that he said, man, look, if you, and I'm paraphrasing, but he was saying that even if you wrote your name down, signed it, and you had all the, your characteristics, you know what I'm saying, on that, on a piece of toilet tissue, that's ID.
Right.
And you didn't sign it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I took that and I just ran with the study part of it. And after, concluding my study, I started to form my own identification card,
Right, as you should from teachers that we have learned.
Right.
You are right to, self-identification.
Right, we have that right. We have the right to self-determination and to identify ourselves and be ourselves. That's a natural right. So by after, making your card. Right.
Did you ever have a chance to, not necessarily a chance, was there ever a moment where, you had to go out with a couple of your buddies or whatever, a pool hall or anything like that? Did you ever go any place like that with that?
Right. Yes. Okay. So it went like this. I got, brothers and sisters and whatnot, and of course, most of them, they're just like, man, what he doing with this? Let me go back just a little bit.
Right.
The ID card that I made for myself, it was, I got some 100-pound paper, which is really, really thick paper. And, of course, I put all the same information that I have on the IDs that we get from the state or passport, just that general information that, identifies us, height, weight, a picture of me, thumbprint, and then because we're Moorish American, I put, those certain characteristics of our nation on the card.
Right.
But I laminated it, and that's what I was just rolling with, a piece of laminated, a piece of paper.
Okay.
So, of course, my brothers and sisters, they laughed and they're like, "Oh man, you can't get in nowhere with that."
So where did you guys go? Did you guys do a club, a lounge?
We went to a club.
Okay.
We went to a club, and it was actually out of state. And so we go to the club. Of course, they teasing me all the way down there because and I really didn't want to go because I've never really been a club person and stuff like that. So that's just me personally. But I was like, all right, I'm with my brothers and sisters. We out of state. We're on vacation. They want me to come. I gotta go.
So once you got to this club, and of course you're sitting in line like, oh man, I wonder what is really about to happen once I get to the front. Am I going to have to bust out my whole folder for this guy full of information, or are we gonna have an easy night?
Well,
what was their reaction when you showed them your identification card?
Well, of course I didn't have no folder and nothing like that with me. We going to the club, So I'm like, really, I mean, I wasn't necessarily like nervous, but I didn't want, nobody wants to be rejected or anything like that.
Of course, that's like the walk of shame. Like, right.
Yeah, now you got to take the walk of shame.
You done got dressed. You came up in here with this, and
I'm with my lady. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. My brothers are never gonna let me live it down.
Nobody want to walk away after that line,
right,
bro. It's not happening.
Right. So we get to the club, we're standing in line and stuff like that. They ask for, our IDs and stuff. I give him my ID. So the guy looks at it and he's like, "This is you from Agree?" And I was like, "Yeah, but I'm from Agree Balaksa though." I was like, "I'm from Maghreb Al-Aqsa. I'm from North America, Maghreb Al-Aqsa, Morocco over here." He was like, "I'm from Morocco. I'm from Morocco." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And he was like, "You speak any Arabic?" I was like, "Not that much." He was just like, "Oh, all right, that's cool." He was like, "Wait, hold on a second." So he goes over, some of the clubs, they got they hire, like city police come over, be security and whatnot at the door, help him out, check ID. So he went over to them, he was like, "Hey, you guys got a problem with him, coming in with this ID?" They shrugged their shoulders. It was two county, policemen, whatever.
So wait a minute, you're telling me he took these over to police officers?
Yeah.
The ID that you made,
or deputies,
sheriff's deputies, that you personally made.
Yeah.
And what happened? So,
they shrugged their shoulders. The brother from Morocco, he came back to me and he was like, "Hey, you guys come with me." So he kind of takes us to the side, and then he calls in the hostess, that's at the door, and he goes over to her and he says, "Let them in for free."
Wow.
I mean, my brothers, they turned around and looked at me.
Yeah, how did your party feel about that?
They looked at me like, "What? They didn't let us all in here for free?" And I mean, from there, it kind of gave them a little more incentive to go, maybe I should look into this.
I mean,
I'm the younger brother. I'm the youngest.
So you're the youngest right now.
Yeah.
But you're doing something that they don't know.
I'm doing something they don't know much about.
They haven't seen anyone do anything like this.
Never really came to their mind, never thought about it. Our people have that part has been removed by the training that our people have gone through, or the lack of a better term, like the hypnosis that they put
the
our
psychological
people under.
damage.
Right, we've been psychologically damaged because we're not identifying ourselves, and then when we do, or somebody starts talking that way, people start, "Oh man, well, you can't do that, man. You just, get you a state ID, man. It's easier." And it's just like, my life ain't never been easy, so it's all good. I'm not tripping off that.
Right.
So, man, that was that first little experience, man. We went out, we had a good time.
That's right, man. So now once you see that, like, this is real, like we're going to do this. Right. Now it's like, oh, bro, it's no stopping. You guys, I imagine, hit up multiple spots after doing this. Like, you were the comfortability level of showing your identification card without, I guess you can say, feeling like you being sweated.
Right.
It gave you more of a comfortable feeling when you pulled it out.
Absolutely.
And that's a good. So, for some of the listeners that may have an identification card and may not feel as comfortable as you, brother, to using yours, what would you say to them?
What I would say to them is, you're going through a process, a purging process of learning how to be yourself.
Right.
So if this is an identification card that identifies you, then to not use it is to not be yourself when you're identifying yourself. So, we're gonna have to get past that. We got to get past not feeling comfortable identifying ourselves. So I don't have the greatest advice in the world. It's just, you're just gonna have to get out there, man, and be yourself. And for Moorish Americans specifically, that's what you are supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be studying on how to be yourself, and then you're supposed to go out and go be yourself. So, my thinking behind it is that's what I'm doing. So that, even though I might have been a little nervous and didn't want to get rejected and all that, still at the same time, it was just like, nah, man, but this is me. So, and I'm going to go this route. I had one chance at that time.
Right.
And that right there is a whole, we're going to have to do a whole nother video.
We'll have a whole nother time.
We'll do a whole nother video.
Where I can even, because I remember you telling me about that situation. I don't want to ruin it. Beautiful. So I'm going to save that.
Beautiful. But hey, you guys make sure that you guys tune in to the next Moor Testimonial video, because I'm definitely going to share my experience at the hospital when I had my firstborn. And it was a beautiful experience. I wrote up all the paperwork. Me and my wife wrote up the paperwork, and it was a beautiful experience. We're not going to go too much into that, but I just say it. I brought that up to say that I had to learn how to be myself so that my children could be themselves. They could, they don't have to go using the state ID, and they could feel comfortable doing so because I already went out there and did it. And I just had to go cold turkey. Me, I'm the type of person that is all the way on or it's all the way off. There ain't no in between. You're going to do it or not. So I had to go. I had to go all the way, and I don't advise or suggest anybody else do this. That was just my way and how I had to do it for my own psychology and for myself. So I had to put away the driver license, put away, the state ID, and I just had to roll with, your
identification
the nationality identification card, and then, even though I had made it and put it on paper and it didn't look the most professional, but yeah, although it's decent, and it was definitely decent enough that they didn't look at it when we went to the club and go, man, what's this piece of trash, man? Get this out of here, man. This ain't no ID.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? I studied well enough that what I put on that piece of paper and laminated it, that not only when I went to that club, other places, and like I said, even with the hospital as well too. So, I needed an ID there too. So
thank you very much, X-Rail, for that situation.
Thank you.
That story, man, that was beautiful. If you have anything in closing that you would like to say to anybody, or anything that you would like to say right now, the floor is yours.
What I like to say to people that are listening and still studying, going through the process, or whether they have it or whether they don't, you are learning to be yourself. Be yourself. Don't be afraid. Don't let these people punk you out of being yourself. And then, continue to study. You should feel comfortable identifying you.
Right.
Anywhere you go. Keep studying. Stay in your square. Even after I went to the club, I continued to study. And in doing that, I learned a lot about discrimination. Mm-hmm. People can't discriminate against you because of your national origin. And because of your national origin, you have your own identification card. So, that right there added to, the comfortability of, if you do reject me, then you're the one that's going to have the problem with discriminating against me. Why can't I identify myself? So, just, go out there and, even whether you feel nervous or not, if you crash and burn, crash and burn.
Right.
Because it's just going to help you in the process. Because if you do crash and burn, then you need to, why did you crash and burn?
You need to evaluate what happened.
You need to evaluate what happened. What is the situation? Why did they reject you? And then you can study from that, and then you could do better the next time. And that right there is just something that I just picked up along the way, because all this stuff is new to us. We have not been rolling this way. So, I do want to, I'm going to close out. I appreciate you, good brother. I'm X-Rail for everybody that is listening in. I do have a YouTube channel. We're going to be uploading some information that on the subject matter of nationality. I like to talk about right to travel a lot. I have a lot of information in that, so I am going to be uploading some videos, but that's not primarily what the channel is about. If you do like that stuff too, go to my channel, check it out. Peace out, everybody, and thanks for tuning in.